While you look
Okay.
for it. Woohoo!
You can introduce me. I'm still ready to talk.
Yes, excellent. Welcome to episode 14 of the Super Bros podcast. Here we are, Jose Ojeda, that's me, and Candido Crespo.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
We are one man short today. Miguel is not with us today, but he'll be in.
Which may lead us to changing our live schedule.
Right. We'll figure it out. I mean,
Right.
It's a digital age. We'll figure it out. Maybe we'll move the show to 3 a.m. on Wednesdays. If you can't notice, my new sexy raspy voice is unfortunately only temporary. I'm coming off of a cold that comes from traveling around and doing too much. But so bear with me, or I'm sorry that it's gone next week.
It fits you. I think it fits you well, man.
I like it. I do. And usually when I talk to people on the phone, they enjoy it as well.
That's good.
But who does that anymore? Who talks on the phone?
Yeah. What are you talking about? Or what?
Huh?
How did you communicate via what?
Phone? What's a phone? What's the internet?
The internet. All right. I'm all in.
We're all in. Dun, dun, dun,
So we want to. Hey, was that was your NFL theme?
Dun, 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 dun.
All right, so we'll start there, huh?
Why not?
That's where we're gonna start. So tonight, game one of the season, rematch Broncos and Panthers. What's up?
I didn't even know that. you're telling me earlier how about you were gonna watch football. And you're like game one. I thought the season was going on already for like 3 weeks.
So tonight's the season opener, and Jose would have no idea, and it has absolutely no effect either way on his life. But for me, I'll be sitting on my couch, completely tuned in, and cheering.
Here's
upset.
More question. What? You don't even know.
Might have to repeat what you just said. Sorry.
Oh, what channel is the game on?
Oh, yep. Don't know. Not offhand. So it could be NBC or Fox.
Doesn't even matter.
Yeah, it's a primetime channel so that they can get the largest number of viewers.
Makes sense. So it's game one, team versus team. It's a rematch. Let's do this. A rematch of the champions.
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the Broncos and the Panthers.
Oh, who's gonna win?
Don't know because the Broncos won with Peyton Manning, but Peyton Manning retired, so it's a brand new quarterback.
I forgot that.
Yeah.
I forgot that happened.
It's a brand new quarterback, so it should be pretty interesting. I don't really care who wins because I'm a Giants fan, so I won't have any biased opinions until Sunday at 4:00.
But what of Tim Tebow?
He's playing baseball.
Yes, he's taking the Michael Jordan route and playing professional minor league baseball.
So I don't know enough about it, but supposedly he has a pretty good swing.
I mean, he's an athlete. I mean, as much as anyone's an athlete. Yeah. Let's see if his timing. I think that's a big thing. I think that's why Jordan wasn't super successful, is because the timing that needs to go into hitting a ball that's flying at you 90 miles per hour.
Right. I guess we'll see. Right.
Yes. I hope he prays.
Think. Hold on, because I heard a rumor that the Mets picked him up.
The Mets minor league system.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
Right. So if he does really well, then maybe he can become a New York Met.
That's what New York needs right there. That'll be the great white hope for New York.
That's what'll put him over the top, I think.
Hey, you know what? I'm not gonna bash the guy. What if he does excel as a baseball player?
I hope
he found his sport.
Right. Absolutely.
And
so think of how many jerseys there are out there with the word Tebow on it. You know, It's like I think he just wants to have more jerseys in different colors with his name on it.
Yeah. Ha. There he goes. That's going to be a great opportunity.
I had other footballish things to talk about. I forget.
Well, the most applicable to this to our podcast would be Colin Kaepernick's approach to protest. So
That godless heathen.
Initially, it began as him staying seated during the national anthem. He received a lot of backlash because of it. Until I think he was given the opportunity to explain, and even then, he still received some backlash. But at least he was able to explain why he was doing it. And in recent days, he has taking a knee to reinforce the idea that his protest is not against the military or veterans. So he acknowledges them by taking a knee as opposed to staying seated. And it seems as though this is starting to catch a little bit of a fire, right? Because more people are starting to do it. I know you said there's a rumor that the Seahawks team remain seated. There's the female soccer player who stood seated during the national anthem, which was a big deal.
It's a big, I mean, back and forth, right? People who support it, people who don't. It's very polarizing against Colin Kaepernick and the idea of protesting in general. I feel like the idea is now it's caught on. I don't know what that means. I don't know if it's just going to further divide people, but it's cool. I like it.
I think the reason why you and I would like it,
because we like to push against the system.
Well, it just causes the conversation. Like it doesn't allow, it's not allowing us to forget that the conversation still needs to be had. It's not. It's forcing us to say like even if you're exhausted of it, you gotta still have it because it's there. It's it's not. We can't continue to conceal it. You gotta have those conversations. So that's why I like it.
It's good, and because it's especially now where everything is so easily forgotten, right? Yeah. It's the news cycle is very, the time frame is very short, right? And so if it doesn't fit within that, then it's gone. The news is gone.
Right.
The contrary to that, though, have you seen the articles saying this is what you've missed while we've been focusing on Colin Kaepernick?
So I have. I
mean, what do you do?
But yeah, what do you do? But I don't think, you see, the Kaepernick thing, it's not, I don't think it's about Kaepernick, though. Like, when they say Colin Kaepernick now, I'm ignoring that it's him, a football player, and thinking, oh, that conversation about inequality in the United States.
It's
like oppression. Yeah, so like.
He started that aspect of the movement, right? The taking a knee or not saluting, and he brought a lot of light to certain issues about a lot of people didn't know the rest of the story of allegiance. So there's a lot of awareness happening, but he started something, but it's bigger than him now. At least it should be. But I think a lot of people are trying to make it just about him.
Yeah, and I think that was his intention too. This is not just about me. And it's true. He really doesn't have much to gain. The dude has not had a successful career recently, and he's not going to make any more money than he is already. Not off of this struggle.
And I hear he's being blacklisted by insiders in the NFL, like teams or owners and stuff. If he move on from there, it's like who's gonna, he's tainted. Who's gonna take him?
The Niners let him go. I don't think he's going to be a football player anymore. And the thing is,
but maybe the Mets will take him. Sorry.
He was a track.
I think I froze you.
Star. Maybe he'll just become an Olympian.
Maybe he'll take this one. Are you back? Hello? Did I get you? Did I lose you? Oh, internet. When will you be perfect? You back?
I feel like I'm back. I don't know.
I think you're back. Can I tell you about a dream I had last night?
Please.
And it's very fitting.
Okay.
Dream last night. There's that was going on. One was that I was in I was in a class of some sort, and I think I was graduating, but I don't remember from what. But my entire graduating class all took a knee, the Pledge of Allegiance. Like we all pews that we were sitting in, and I was like, "This is amazing." And then I woke up.
Huh. That's pretty interesting.
I loved it. It was very interesting, and it was a great feeling, to be part of this and have people around me support that decision. And like I was saying, the Seahawks, the entire team is planning on kneeling. I don't know whether or not that's going to happen. It's rumored, so we'll see when it happens.
Yeah, that's something to look out for this weekend, for sure.
And it's in Seattle, like Seattle's team, right? I feel like they're a progressive, forward-thinking kind of town that would stand for this. You know, if it was like the Texas Texans or whatever they call themselves, for example, I don't think that would fly
Houston,
there
Texas.
at all. Oh, the Houston Texans. Okay. That's it. That was my dream. Are you there? Are you frozen? Is the internet dead?
I don't know. I keep coming back in and out. I hear you, though.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. So that's football. But we're ready to talk about art because that's the kind of stuff that Jose and I know better than anything else.
Well, that's I hope. That's a lot of pressure.
I mean,
people always try to pressure me on like, art, so and so. I was like, no.
Yeah, see, I don't like that kind of approach where people start asking us about specific artists, like, oh, the work of. No, I don't really know the work of.
Didn't know it when I was in grad school. Don't know it now.
Hold on a second. Actually, before we get into the list of things that we want to talk about, I don't think I've ever asked you who your favorite artist is.
Oh no!
Don't do it.
No, I always hated that. Not that I hate that you asked. I hated that I didn't have a formal response.
That's fine though.
Yeah, but it would always come up, right?
It's gonna always come up,
world, especially when you're showing your own. Like, who is your inspiration, or who do you like, or who do you follow, right? Like, as if they were periodicals. Yeah. Like, I like the New Yorker and the Onion. But I like the Mexican muralists a lot.
Orozco and
it helped that we had an Orozco mural in our school, so that's having that connection to it, like right there, really helped. Just the physical way of making those murals, like it's embedded, the pigment's embedded into the actual like wall. I thought was really neat, and then just the magnitude of it. So that I always go to them because it's easy and it's legit. So.
That's good.
How about you, man? How about you?
So my idea of my favorite artist is actually a little strange too, because I don't like fine. My favorite artists weren't necessarily fine artists, so I don't. My style also is not influenced by these artists, so I don't feel influenced by anybody. I just know what I appreciated when I first saw it and what I've never put down since I've seen it. And that's Todd McFarlane, the creator of Spawn.
Ooh.
Yeah, I really love his work. And Norman Rockwell.
Do you have any of his work? Like
comic books or like framed images?
It could be a framed comic book.
I don't have any of his stuff framed, no. But I did get to meet him, and I did take a photograph with him, which is to me more meaningful than anything signed by him.
Oh, absolutely. That's great.
So I did get to meet him at last year's Comic-Con. And my second favorite artist is Norman Rockwell.
Ooh.
Yeah. I think if anybody has had the opportunity or has actually captured the American spirit, was I think him, and he captured it in a way that I would appreciate an artist to capture something. So in a distinct image that's easily readable, and has as beautiful and complex as it is, it's still a very simple image of something that's happening in America. So I just always loved that style.
Shining a mirror to life, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, so we'll back away from that because that got real personal.
No, it's fine. That's what it's about, right?
We actually are sticking to something a little bit more personal. I'm going to talk about the event before I start talking about our personal projects. Can I do that?
Please do.
Okay, so if our viewers have been following our show, we had a guest on, one of our fraternity brothers named Steve Lucen. And he was speaking about his Support Creativity Scholarship. And they're actually going to host an event on September 17th where they are awarding this year's recipients of the scholarship. And there is, in addition to that ceremony, there is a panel and an art show. And I'll be participating on the panel. And
so September 17th for you guys, that's next Saturday.
Yeah, maybe we'll put the flyer on the Facebook page.
I think so. It starts at what time, more or less?
I think it's a 2 p.m. It's a early afternoon.
And it's where?
It's in Manhattan, but the address offhand, I'm not.
Oh, that's fine. We'll figure it out.
But it's in Manhattan though.
Save the date next Saturday. You want to be there.
And I think you have to RSVP. So if you are interested, we'll put the information so that you know how to actually attend. So Brilliant. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And it's interesting because the other panelists so far, the other two that are on, are active artists. They're paying doing shows. So I'm probably going to be bringing a completely different perspective as to what my role is. So that should be pretty interesting because I think of myself as the artist educator before I think of myself as the artist.
You always have for years now, which is good.
Yeah. So I'm going to enjoy this conversation because I think I'm going to give students who are interested in art and a different idea of how to be involved in art, yet touch lives in a different way.
Ooh, changing lives.
I think so.
That's like your life mission now, right? As an educator, change lives.
Absolutely.
And why should it stop in the classroom?
Hence why I'm undergoing my leadership courses.
And what you were telling me in the pre-show was really interesting in terms of what you're doing with your classroom. I don't know if you wanted to like give a little insight on that or sneak.
Yeah, sure. I'll start talking about it. Because I think it's going to become a very large part of my school year. So school's just started, and I'm starting to get a feel for my students. And look, we can't avoid social media at all. I mean, there's just I can't imagine where to start. Yeah. So there's a few teachers that I've noticed on Twitter and Instagram that have been creating windows into their classrooms through social media, and I want to do that. I want to create that accessibility to both parents, to students, to the community, where they can see what's happening in the art classrooms in the town that I teach in. And I guess it's another way for students to feel engaged, feel a sense of ownership for the classroom. I'm sure they're going to want to be present on the social media pages. They're going to want their artwork on it. They're going to want to be the student who's photographed working tirelessly to accomplish a project or help a classmate. I want all those things to be captured, and I want them to be available immediately. I don't want to have to wait until I update my webpage. I don't want to have to wait until Meet the Teacher Night or Parent Teacher Conference or the community art show. I just want that stuff available to people. And I think by having these two social media outlets, the Twitter and Instagram, I think that's going to do that for me, and it's going to do that for them.
That's amazing. And what I find interesting is, well, these two platforms have been around for years now, right?
Yeah.
Several years, Instagram and Twitter. And so I'm wondering why now this is becoming more okay to do, right? I think a lot of people have been timid. At least that was your first questions. My first questions about it is, can we do this? Can we actually get away with putting up people's students? Because it's very sensitive when you're dealing with students. Yeah. But I think it's become more normalized where oh yeah, sure, of course, social media, everyone's on it.
Mm-hmm. So I think part of it has to do with I'm sure not just any teacher is going to receive the right to be able to do that. I think you have to have a certain level of respect by both the community and your administrators and your colleagues to be able to do something like that, because like we said, they're students, they're children. We don't want to just make them any more accessible to strangers than they already are, right? So there's things that I'll abide by. I won't put in their last names. I'm gonna try my hardest to maybe not capture their faces unless it's a big group photo where we're all doing something, and just to decrease that confusion. I don't want to get into that realm of problems. Right. And there's going to be students who are, hey, can you tag me there? And I'll remind them, and they'll understand, like, hey guys, like your friends are your friends, but we don't know who's visiting our page. Because that's the way I keep describing it to them is it's our page, like
it's our page. And it just, it's outward facing, right? And it's cool. And it's what I've always loved about new technology with art is expanding beyond the four walls of like the gallery, right? You just want to push because we have all these tools, and why do we have to be confined? I mean, it's cliche, but thinking outside of the box. So like, why not share? You know how when we were kids, and even now, you have the bulletin board right outside your classroom.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's this is my shining work. These are my students. Please look at them. But it's limited to who? People who walk by the hallway, your colleagues and stuff. Now imagine if you had that bulletin board, but everyone could see it.
Yeah, that's a beautiful way to put it, man. Actually, that's a fantastic way to. I might even use that same explanation for a teacher who may question me, because I've been questioned about things for a while now. You know, like I've played video games with students for a very long time, and that in itself has its own questions. You know, like, oh, how can you continue communication with these students? You know, and I don't have an answer about the video game things, but I do know what a result of it has been, and there has been crazy things, crazy good things, positive things that have happened as a result. I have won over the hearts of some of the most difficult students because, hey, I play Modern Warfare, and let's play, you know, and it gives us that opportunity where now we're talking in a different environment, so that next day at school, it's not going to be that difficult student. It's going to be me and the student that played video games, and now he or she is going to want an opportunity to build or, you know, construct a relationship inside the classroom as well. I've played video games with students where there's about to be a presidential debate on, and I tell them, hey, you know, like we'll play, but at this time the presidential debate is on. Why don't you check it out? If you have an opportunity, talk to me about class tomorrow, and maybe I'll give you a couple points on your project. And that student came to me and talked to me about the presidential campaign. And I don't know if his social studies teacher asked him to do it. I don't know that, but I know I asked him to do it, and he did it. Right. And he asked me a question that was pretty significant. He asked me a question. I can't remember. I can't remember exactly the debate, but the question was about immigration, you know, and it was specific to something that was brought up. So I know that he actually watched, and those are just two examples, but I mean, the list is endless, and because of technology.
And I don't want to get too deep into it, but what you just touched upon is sort of what is needed in education, is more this kind of, instead of just blanket, but more custom tailored approaches to each student, because each student is different and learns in a different way. And like you said, some have different needs than others, and the approach that you take with them, sometimes you need to go outside of the box. And not all teachers are A, capable of doing that, or B, allowed to by the system.
Right.
That's all. Yeah, let's bring it back. I forgot what we were saying.
September 17th, the Untitled Art Show and Award Ceremony from Support Creativity. And it's also in collaboration with the BS Collective, which is another organization that I've participated with. And they're doing some pretty cool things as far as creating an art movement in New York City as well. So why would I have been invited to that? Why are we invited to it? Why do we do shows? You know, why are we artists? We have projects that are going on that are personal projects. They're not commission works. They're things that you and I just, you know, just our heart. And they just won over our, they were an idea, and then they won over our heart. And then so we give to them. And and we have talked about your project that's been ongoing, which is the Finch Flight. Right.
Ooh, Finch Flight. And like most of my projects that start, sometimes they hit a snag in the road, and then they take a few bumps. Maybe I go on vacation and I don't do any for a few weeks. It started off as a daily project, right? A Finch a day. And then I went on vacation. I actually thought about that. I was like, I'm going to have all of these birds ready, so every day I can take one with me. And then I didn't plan ahead, and I broke my final saw blade. So again, if you're not aware of how I do my work, I use like manual, right? And so the saw blade's what goes here, and I broke my last one, and I finally just got them in the mail today. So today I'm gonna get back into it, and I'm learning not to beat myself up and be okay with that. So,
what number did you leave off on?
I'm on 25 now.
Whoa! So there's only 6 left, right?
No,
there's 31.
131.
Oh,
yeah, it's enormous. I'm debating whether or not I still want to post one a day.
Okay.
mean, for a while, it's literally going to be like 2 a day because I need to catch up. Not so much because I need to do 1 a day, because I want to finish this in some sort of timely manner.
Right.
But we'll see. We'll see how I feel.
Okay.
But it's good. I still have confidence that in the end, it'll be really cool for 10 minutes.
Is it going how you planned as far as visually? Maybe not the work aspect of it, but what you're seeing right now, these little results, are they what you have been wanting to see?
Yeah. I mean, it's funny with me and my metal work. It's more like the conceptual part happens really early on, and then at the end, it's in the beginning and the end. In the middle, there's not so much. In the beginning, it's like, okay, that would be cool, and in the end, you just got to do it, right? You just got to cut the thing out, and at the end, it's shiny, like, oh, that was worth it. And so I think it'll be good. I'm still confident that in the end, it'll look really awesome.
Okay.
Like put together.
Okay. Good.
And that's that. And but I don't want that to be the only thing I do. Right. That's sort of been my project that keeps me regular, as we've talked in the past, something that I keep doing. But I also want to kind of interject little things in there. Also,
that's your
Christmas.
fiber, bro.
Christmas is coming, and I got to tap into that somehow.
Okay. Yes. So Finch Flight is your fiber, that we know.
Right.
Which is important, because that's actually why or the reason I said these things that we're currently working on are not commissions, because it's important that we have that as well.
Yes.
It's super important that we have that. All right. And Christmas, we have something that we didn't release last year.
We have, not only do we have something we didn't release this year, I forgot. I was in I'm sorry for that. I was like in a weird funk.
It's okay.
Stuff, but I still got it, and we can work on that, and that'll be good.
That's gonna be. I think that'll be fun, even if we just get it out there, so get a good laugh out of people. And I think people are gonna purchase it.
I think so. I think it'll be good. And we also have the Yetis from like a few years ago.
Yeah, I have those. Yeah, I have those as well.
There's nothing stopping us from having more.
No, so you messaged me recently about another piece of our hip hop. Let's call them hip hop quotables, whatever. I've been working on them, but I've been working on that Sasquatch, and I haven't sent you anything because I don't even like the sketches. I'm like, this is terrible. Like, I can't send this to Jose. Like,
listen, that's okay, man. They're not all home runs. They're not all home runs, but it's exercises, if anything, for us certainly to kind of like move around.
Yeah, but I was like, oh no. Like, I got to keep a certain reputation. The brother loves me, and I'm sure it could do me no harm if I sent you something terrible. But I want to make sure I send you something that's at least.
That's true. Usually everything you send me has been wonderful, and I'm like, oh, that's it. I'm doing it. I'd have to like pause, wait a second, be like, I guess it's okay.
Yeah. I don't want
to like kind of give you some critical feedback, which everyone wants to. I understand completely.
I love critical feedback, but I certainly don't want to set myself up right from the beginning.
Yeah. It's like, can you do it better?
Yeah. This looks great if you just erased it and started from like a blank.
Could you try harder? Right. Anyway, so Christmas is coming, and I think that's a good time to make some money.
Yeah, man, no question.
So that we can spend the money.
That's it. That's what it's for.
That's all.
Make it and spend it. Yo, I think I gotta get my hand on one of those Grinches, by the way.
I have so many.
That's the one I gotta get. I think I may be sending you over some money from my little sister. Actually, she really likes the Grinch, so I'll probably get it for her. That'd be a nice one to gift to her. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll give it to her in the next coming week, so I could get her thinking Christmas already.
I just gotta get organized. That's all. It's just organization and stuff. But this is good. This helps anyway. So those are our thinking towards Christmas economic ways. What were we talking about? We're talking about
personal projects.
Yeah, you got some big.
I got one that just really came out of real left field, because I really wasn't planning on this. Lately, I've been listening to a lot of podcasts, but the one that has completely caught my attention is this picture booking podcast. And
now, which one is that again? Because maybe I should listen to it. It's audio, or is it visual too?
Audio. It's just audio.
Yay! I love that.
The author and illustrator and host of the show, his name is Nick Patton, and the name of the podcast is the Picture Booking Podcast. And so he is an aspiring author and illustrator, and he is interviewing already existing authors and illustrators to sort of pick their brains, because it's a dual purpose. So he's trying to give this information to the listeners while also learning on his own.
Beautiful.
Which I think is a wonderful tactic.
It's amazing, and it only builds up his own. I mean, that's the point of not point, but that's the benefit of podcasts and people who do them in industries. It's like, yeah, we want to share this information, but then you become ingrained in that community, and so you build up an already base that you can like sell your product to.
Mm-hmm. So I like it. I like it so much that he is on episode 60, but I started from episode 1 and I just made it to episode 27, I think. He started in 2014.
Wow. So how long are these? An hour or 2 hours?
I think it varies depending on how successful the interview is. He lets it run.
Right. That's good.
So I've heard shows that are 45 minutes or shows that are hour and a half.
I listen to 3-hour podcasts often.
Do you?
Yes.
Wow.
I don't know. And I'm wondering how many more people like that. Maybe I'm an anomaly, but that's like nothing to me.
But so like, is that any different than me listening to 3 episodes in a row of this Picture Booking podcast then?
Only in terms of how you break it down. I mean, in terms of actual time spent doing it, no. But it's
because I've been doing that.
Right. Yeah.
I've definitely been doing that. So this podcast had got me thinking. I think that's a wonderful gift to be able to do both. Well, it's a gift to be able to do either, to be an author, to be an illustrator. And then these people who are tackling both, like, what? Like, wow, that's pretty amazing. I want to know more about them and their work.
Ladies, get yourself a man who can do both.
Hey. So, Harry Potter marathon, and I started drawing, and I'm like, hey, I got this idea for this character, and then I got this idea for another character, and then I got this idea for another character, and I got a name for where these characters live. And so I wrote it down, and I was drawing, and I was coloring and as fast as I could, because I had all these ideas, and I'm like, I got to get it down. And then I keep switching between pencil and pen and marker and typing, because now I'm seeing them and I want to write their stories, and I want to know who my characters are, and I want to know why this little boy wears a skull mask and a pumpkin overalls, and why this little girl has a cage that's around her neck and body, but she's not in the cage. Like, she grew out of it, but it's still on her. Or this little girl who walks around with a flame on her head, but she seems like a shy girl. So that's kind of weird. And then this other guy who, instead of a high top fade, he has a vulture that landed on his head and just never left. So I'm like, if I'm seeing these things, there's got to be story to them. So I named it Burntwood Park, and I'm running with it. And I spent the whole weekend drawing and writing, and then I just stopped, right? Because
you had to go to work.
Because I got to go to work, right?
Well, that's all right.
And
and so you've quit your job, and then
yeah, right. So, but guess what? Guess what's about to happen? I'm about to be around a bunch of kids who are going to be super excited about Halloween, and harvest season is going to be in full effect, and I'm going to get more inspiration than I probably could have planned for, and I'm going to write those things down, and I'm going to hope that my kids just say things that are just going to be like, that needs to be in a story, and expand on them, and I don't know, I think I got something that, even if I just wrote it for myself and just shared it with my close friends, I think it's going to be a very fulfilling feeling.
This is amazing.
So that's what I'm looking forward to.
You've just ranted on about this idea that you have. So I think you've come across something, because a hard thing for artists sometimes is getting an idea, oddly enough, right? Something that we're happy with, something that sticks, and that, let alone characters. Are you crazy? Characters that like are fleshed out with names, or at least personalities, and you're trying to figure it out. And you have no shortage of really your only shortage is time right
Mhm.
now in terms of how to develop them. So you're on a roll right now, brother. And the art economist in me, having my art economist is Christmas, not Christmas, forget about Christmas. Halloween is right around the corner.
Yeah.
And how do we capitalize on that?
Yeah, I know. I know. I've been thinking about it.
And not only like, okay, we got to make t-shirts and sell them. No, it's more, how do we get this product that's really perfect maybe for this season or this time, and how do we roll it out to them? Or do we? We don't even have to. You don't want to rush your project. I'm not trying to tell you how to run your project, but
Right.
I'm planting these little seeds in your head.
Yeah, no, I'm totally aware of it. And I want, like I said, so the goal of this is a little bit smaller than I normally do, because I wasn't thinking immediate profit. It's there though, it exists, you know, and I know it because I don't maybe unlike some artists that we may know who love to do art just for the sake of doing art. For us, it's a gift that we like, that we enjoy to share and to prosper off of.
Right. And also when you say profit, it's not so much like, oh, I'm going to be rich. It's more someone buying a piece of art. Take away the amount, but just the fact that someone is willing to participate in that exchange with you is the validation that we're looking for, because it means that they like your work enough to pay for it and have it. And it's that sharing. At least that's how I feel. So
I agree. Right. I don't know why I hadn't applied that. To this, but I have. Like, that's something that I normally do. You know, but I want to get it down so badly to the point I want to get something down that I can just share with my immediate friends and family. Like, I just want to give something.
Good, just share, right?
Like, I just want to share it.
And you've been sharing some sketches that you've been showing, and people have been liking them, but we're still, like, I wasn't even really sure what the whole scope of it was, because you sketch a lot and a lot of it's like fan work. I think people still don't know that this is 100% yours.
Right.
Like, for a while, I thought maybe it was a show on Netflix that I didn't know about yet.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that is true, because I do a lot of fan work. And so I think what I want to do is probably saturate, like, the next few weeks, my social media accounts with the images of these characters, or with short blurbs of stories, just so that it can be something. And, like, I want people reading it, I want people seeing it, and I want people expanding on it.
Have you thought about maybe just one panel comics, you know, sort of like political or kind of New York comics, where it's just like image and then blurb, like short kind of thing? Not in the black and white style, but I think that would be cool, because then it's something you could put on social, share it, maybe in the corner it can tag Burntwood Park, so it becomes part of this collective, like mini micro stories.
So I love that idea. I guess I wasn't trying to concentrate it. I was thinking maybe just a picture, and then if in the comments section I was writing whatever that blurb is, but if I make it all into that one square, it may be easier to collect and share that way in a variety of platforms.
Yeah. And why not? I mean, it would be good practice for you in terms of storytelling or story writing, right? Because what you want to do is be that. Yeah.
And so I never wanted to be an author and illustrator. That's not something that I had planned for. But I also don't want to walk away from this idea, because I'm like, this is fun. This feels fun. I don't owe anything to this. You know, like, this project, I don't owe anything to this project. This is something that I can just work on. And hey, if it doesn't make it out this year, Halloween is next year again.
That's how I feel about fitness every single year.
Oh,
that's like, oh my God, I'm getting ready for the Beachbody 2017.
Hey. Yo,
but the same thing happens with art.
Yeah, so that's my thing, man. That's what I got going on right now.
And you sound really excited. You're beaming about this.
I am.
So again, the project is Burntwood Park.
Burntwood Park.
For it, follow Dito on social, Instagram @Crespo Arts, Twitter @Crespo Arts, and you'll be seeing stuff soon.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's that time, man.
I think so too. I know that next week we definitely want to hit on the stuff, the no DAPL, the things that's going on with the Native American communities out and their fights with the oil companies that are trying to run pipes through them. We really want to talk about that because it's a big issue, but we are less than informed right now. You know, we
Right.
just know basics and we just got to do some more research. So next week, and hopefully we can be with Miguel, who will have a lot to say on that.
Yeah.
We can touch on that deeply.
So that's it, guys. Thank you for joining us for episode 14. Episode 14.
Yeah, this is nuts, man. This is good.
We're going.
We're doing
We're
it.
doing
We're
it.
still doing it
Yep.
with our no one following.
Yeah.
No, but I don't. It doesn't bother me. You know, it doesn't bother me yet.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
This is kind of one of those labor of loves thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And who knows, man? Maybe one day we're just gonna hit that episode that everybody's gonna say they want to know where we started, like I did with the picture booking podcast. I heard episode 59, and I was like, I want to start from 1.
Either way, this is good practice, you know, for us in terms of communicating and talking and getting our ideas out there, and noticing things like that. Your curtains look like Space Invaders.
Ah. Beep, beep, beep. I was just shooting them. I was just
This was good, man. I had a lot of fun today. Did we touch on everything? I think we did.
Yeah, man, we tackled everything that we had planned, and you know, whatever we missed out on, or we'll catch up next week with Miguel, hopefully.
Perfect. Enjoy. What day is this? Thursday. Thursday night football.
Happy football day.
Go team. Go team. Go.
Got later, everybody.
Bye, guys. Bye. Oh, I stopped. Goodbye.